So it'll really piss people off, but it would be fun. Be a fun project.
But the NFL wild card is upon us this weekend. Give our predictions and thoughts.
Well, I have to say, I'm going to be upfront. I've been kind of this season in football. I've been kind of MIA, just with the weekends being the weekends and Sundays being a little bit of a different dynamic than other years. I haven't actually got to watch. So you're going to get to like fill me on like who's actually doing good this year. Besides the obvious teams that I have like caught games of, obviously like Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, obviously they're doing pretty good this year. Um, and I know the Patriots are doing terrible. I know that much. Um, but there's a whole bunch of other teams that I just don't know where they stand because, your typical teams that don't do well have been doing differently.
Yeah, this year there's been some surprises this year. That's for sure. Detroit's the number one seed right now. They get a weekend off. So is Kansas City. So it's just it. How good New England can't even lose from? All you had to do was take a nod against Buffalo last week. You're the number one draft pick. You had to win.
Yeah, it was even weirder. I mean, they shouldn't have done that. But, if you're going to lose like that, just lose all the way. But, I mean, my father-in-law's happy. He likes, I mean, he's a big Detroit Lions fan. Surprisingly, he covered all of New England sports, but for the one of the papers. But he's such a Detroit Lions fan. Well, I mean, I found out the other day when I walked into my kid's classroom. He's got the big, his teacher got the big New York Giants fucking thing in the back, and I'm like, what? Giants? No. I'm like, really? I mean, I don't ever remember going to school and having sports in the schooling, but except other than like the school mascots and stuff. But I was surprised to see it. But I mean, we're here for it. Whatever. I don't get all bent out of shape over teams and people with their like rivalries and stuff. I mean, even in other sports, I'm a fan of good sport and a good team. Like I've been fans of like certain years of LA. The Lakers. I've been in basketball and like even the Yankees in baseball. I've been fan of because they've been a good team. If someone's playing good, it's good. I do obviously want I like to see my home teams win, but just because they don't doesn't mean that the sport's dead to me or I'm not going to watch. Normally, I'm more active during football season watching football. This year's kind of been like I said, twisty turny, especially in the first half with everything with BWA and having to do all this planning and stuff. I just didn't have time to actually sit and watch. But I am excited because playoff time in any sport is like some of the most exciting times in sports. You get to really see who wants it.
And the only time I really turn off the football game is when the shows up.
Well, I mean,
They had a great game with they show whites. There was one they had to show Peter White.
well, I mean,
What's that? And they can do what they want. They can do whatever they want.
well, no, you don't have to watch it, and you can change it. I mean, even in anything, there's always been celebrities that people just don't care for. I mean, granted, she's not playing football a part of it, like Logan Paul holds a title, but there's people that weren't fans of him that would turn off for that. Even with Bad Bunny, those people that just didn't understand or get it or didn't know who he was, surprisingly. But icons, pop icons, getting into sports always makes things bigger. Um, It's an interesting thing, though, dynamic of how many people, though, actually did tune in more to football because of an individual and just what the power of influence really is and how it could work and who it affects. It's wild to see that in such a large scale. But, I mean, it's sports. It's football. And like I said, football is a little bit different for me than all the other sports because I feel like, especially in playoffs, it's do or die. There's no series. There's no best of 5 or 7 or whatever. It's one game. You either come out and win or you're going home losing. There's none of this other stuff. It's not a better chance tomorrow. We'll get to go and play back in our home field. It's like where we play is where we play. Conditions, they're the conditions. And here we go. And it makes it mean that much more. I mean, it's not just, playing, oh, we get the first 3 games here. It's like, no, there's one game being played. It's happening here. Somebody's going home a loser. And I love that about football. I think that makes it really interesting, and it makes it, makes people, have to stay on their game. Bad days can't really happen, or you're going home a loser. I've watched all sports. I mean, I watch basketball. I watch football. Baseball is an eh. I like baseball if I go to a game, but like on TV, couple innings maybe. I do like hockey if I'm in the mood and I'm catching it, but mostly between football and basketball. I'll watch a lot of that. Right now, I'm checking out the Celtics, seeing how they're doing, and like I said, Sundays. My dad watched a lot of football. He'll have it on. I'll catch glimpses of scores and stuff, but I haven't been able to actually sit and like watch. Used to be like I would just Sundays were just football days. I wouldn't be bothered. I just watch football all day.
I hear you.
But then kids and everything else, it just doesn't happen that way.
Yep. Lucky case I watched one full game.
And yeah, but I am excited to see what happens this year. I mean, will we see a repeat champion? Will we see a new champion? That's always an interesting thing to see. Because you've had seasons where you have a team win and then the next season they don't do so hot. This year, you got a team that's won and now they're coming out firing back. They've talked about Mahomes as being the next Tom Brady. They've talked about KC being the next dynasty like New England. It is possible to happen.
It is possible. I mean, like Brady, and I would say Brady was nothing